The last time I spoke to you was on the subject of statues, friezes and murals that adorn our streets and public parks. But there is another kind of sculpture that's private, and this would be an example. We've christened it Little Ray, with his rake, and I've tracked down the very first gnome to come to England, here, in this Lamport Hall. And this is the national treasure.
Yeah, the one and only.
Lampy, the first garden gnome in this country.
In the world.
The world?
Absolutely.
How come?
Well, we had an eccentric baronet here in the 19th century, Sir Charles Isham, who brought him back from Nuremberg. And was the first person to place him in the garden.
Did he believe in them?
Absolutely, he believed in them, and fairies.
Have you ever seen one?
I'd love to say I had seen them.
But you haven't?
I haven't. I haven't seen any fairies either, which is also a disappointment.
Through twisted country lanes, half an hour or so from Lamport, and there's a little factory, turning out every day, hundreds of them.
There's always a future in gnomes, yes. There's always a demand for them, but people's tastes are changing, and that's why we've gone into a mythical theme.
Yes, well, that's good to hear.
I think what's taken over from gnomes are my golems. They are based upon the idea of the Lord of the Rings.
Not just statues of gnomes, pictures of them. Fairies and dragons. They're bestsellers made in Leicester. They're lovely, your gnomes. I do like them. Do you believe in gnomes?
They can exist, I believe, yes.
But I don't believe in them, really. Do you believe in dragons?
Yes.
You do?
I have one here.
In a bottle?
Yes. Dragons seem to be a large part of my life.
Dragons and gnomes?
And fairies.
All related, I suppose?
Yes. All from the same world.
Yes. Dragons are a part of Nottingham life too. So are window cleaners in Carlton. This is a nice suburban garden.
Thank you.
With all the accoutrements. You've got the dragon spouting water instead of fire.
That's right.
You've got the dragonfly. And these ornaments were made mostly by you?
Mostly by me, apart from the two gargoyles, which were made by my mum. They're models
Your mum?
they're models of her window cleaner.
So she made little gnomes of her window cleaners?
Yeah.
And stuck them in the garden?
That's right.
Oh, it's absolutely lovely. It's interesting to have the dragon there, because there's a dragon down the hill in Sneinton.
Yes.
And it may become the symbol of Sneinton.
Yes,
the
so
dragon.
Say. Yes.
This sculpture was on the roof of Rob's house. The Sneinton dragon.
Yeah. I'm fed up of looking at it myself, but
right.
There you go. Familiarity breeds contempt.
Yes, it does.
And absence makes the heart grow fond.
Yes.
So I brought it up the garden.
Yes.
Now I see it occasionally and it's
better.
Yes.
Now Rob's busy welding another one. Be his 7th dragon. All of them made from scrap, but this one may be for public show.
Watch it, he'll bite you.
No, he won't bite me.
Nottingham City Council, the Renewal Trust, and a group called Alchemy are all interested in getting a piece of sculpture for the Sneinton area.
So instead of it being William Booth for Sneinton, or the windmill of Green, it'll be Rob Stubley's dragon.
Barmy Burt's dragon.
Roy Bailey makes his, whatever you call them, out of old motor car parts. And what you do is you put the outside of the engine, the inside on the outside.
That's right.
You're almost like a Salvador Dali.
Yes.
And this is an Italian one, isn't it?
Yes.
A Lance, yeah? And this is the sparking plugs for fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thumb.
That's right.
And on there is the lead.
Yes.
With the dog collar on.
That's the...
It's beautifully done. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Yes. Made a mistake there.
Do you think I'd had 5?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I've had dogs, I never looked.
These are also homemade by Miles Halpin up above the A6 near Matlock in Troglodyte country. And we found this one, private sculpture at Ashby de la Zouch, with computer bits in it. God only knows why. On the way to Mablethorpe is another mecca of gnomes, a man who rolls his own, as his father did too.
These are the ones your father bought in Leicester?
That's correct, yes.
At a
yes.
hardware shop by the clock tower?
He did, yes.
All looking a bit evil,
Mm,
don't they?
They do, yes, yes.
And these were the ones that you'd be selling in the 1960s?
Yes, that's
all
correct.
Much
yes.
happier?
They are, yes. It's strange, isn't it? But you can see all the fun on the faces.
Swinging?
Yes, that's right, yes.
The advent of flower power?
That's correct, yes.
Lovely,
yes, they're
lovely.
Very nice indeed, yes.
Come on, let's
I
go
like
on.
this era.
Yeah. And these are modern ones, made of fiberglass, are they?
Yes, fiberglass resin.
And it's the traditional Snow White and those dwarfs?
Yes, there they are, yes.
Sleepy, dozy.
I can't name them all at the
Grumpy.
moment. Yes.
Halfway through this investigation into gnomery and associated private sculpture, it occurred to me that times do change and fashions pass. And I wondered, was there yet a graveyard for gnomes? And there is, here, in this council dump. But for you, little Ray with his rake, for you, not yet.
Little Ray and his rake was upset. I even took him to a council dump. So for a treat, I took him back to Lincolnshire, to the haunt that's a heaven, where gnomes are all so cared for.
Ron, you are a gnome.
Yeah, I've become a gnome.
Yes.
40 odd years ago.
Yes.
But
You look very good. You look.
Actually, I don't qualify as a proper gnome.
Because you're not dead.
No.
Stuffed.
You don't
Cast.
qualify until you're 75.
Oh, right.
When you're 75, you qualify to be a proper gnome. You know when you go, people say they go and talk to the plants in the garden.
Yeah.
They're actually, because gnomes come alive at night, so actually they're talking to the gnomes who are fast asleep under the plants. And then the gnomes listen, and then they attend to the plants at night time. They make the plants. That's why if you've got a few gnomes around, you get good plants.
But you've got no room for plants.
Yeah, it's just a few here and there.
So tucked away, and not so tucked away in our East Midlands, are a surprising number of these things, earning a living, fairies and dragons, pods and sparks, gargoyles of your window cleaner, and the rudest of gnomes.
Some folk I know will say, gnomes, how silly, how sad. But these private sculptures are there to make us smile. And that's fine by me.